Hi, my name is Lester, and this is my story. I think love is a pretty hard thing to find. I've spent the greater part of my life trying to look for love, always thinking if I found someone out there for me, that I would be happy. And I remember thinking this back in elementary school, throughout high school. I would always watch movies and kind of obsess over the characters because on screen everything looks so perfect. And so I started getting into all sorts of romantic and pseudo-romantic relationships, trying to find a kind of love to satisfy there. But I always found that something was lacking. It's hard to explain, but even when someone really did care about me, something about it was still unfulfilling, and I wasn't sure what that was. And so I thought the solution to that was actually to find someone even more caring, someone with whom I could get along even better. And it got to the point where I started getting consumed by this idea of this girl. And I would talk about her all the time, and every girl I met, I would try to imagine to see if she could be this girl. And I even started writing about this girl and kind of getting to know all sorts of things about her character. And she was really caring, she was genuine, attractive, had all sorts of cute mannerisms, and she was basically the perfect girl. But as time wore on for several years, I didn't find this girl, and I started wondering if it was even possible to find her. Around the same time in university, I started learning more about God and this love that he had that was apparently perfect. And I'd never thought it very relevant to me because God is, after all, God, and he exists on another realm, and I just didn't see how the love of God could be related to my craving for love. But one night, after a several-month-long journey to try and see this garnet girl realized in a particular girl failed, I was just devastated, and I found myself alone and talking to God. And that night I began to realize that the love I'd been looking for was actually the love God offered through Jesus. And I started thinking about it more carefully, and I started wondering, okay, well, I'd been looking for someone that could really care for me, someone that really would be there for me. And I started realizing that actually God demonstrated that when Jesus died and he suffered for me. I was looking for someone that could understand what it meant to be lonely, who would understand where I'm coming from. And I realized that Jesus was lonely when he was on earth. He was betrayed. I was looking for someone that I'd be happy with, someone that could give me a real sense of joy. And I realized as well that Jesus offered this sense of joy, this peace and hope. And so what happened that night was something that I knew theoretically for a long time actually started making sense experientially and at a practical level. And when I realized that, I was absolutely floored. The love I'd been looking for this whole time had actually already been offered to me through Jesus, and I just never realized it. And so I don't want to say now that I have this perfect sense of love with God. Just like with any relationship, sometimes I'm walking more closely to God, sometimes I'm walking further away from God, and I don't always feel this perfect sense of love. But now I know. Now I know where I can find that love. And when I find myself really engaging with God and connecting with God, I realize I'm a lot more satisfied, and I'm a lot more comforted. And it's just really nice not to be consumed by trying to find love in someone. And so, this is my story, and I found my satisfaction for craving love in Jesus.